Happy Saturday. I am coming to you today because I am just home and I happened to listen to a really good series on the 7 levels of mastering your emotions. Or no, the 7 levels of awareness of consciousness. And I found it so interesting. So Bob Proctor, this comes from him. So I'm just going to talk through the 7 levels. You may want to get a pen out, take some notes. I found it super interesting and I was going to share the episode, but I couldn't go back and find it. So I'm just going to tell you all my notes instead. So level 1 is animal survival mode or animal instinct. So this is kind of where if an animal sees food in the road and there's a bus coming, he's still going to run out and grab the food. It's short term, kind of more tunnel vision. And we see this happening right now a lot with like the homelessness, which is people at this level. And yet we should not judge. It's kind of unfair to judge people at this level because they're at a different level of awareness. So the more you move up the levels, you're going to see how this changes and kind of what happens. So level 1 is just animal survival. So it's the lowest level. Level 2, as you move up, it also said the more compassion you have, the less irritation or frustration or hopelessness. So as you move up these levels, which I was kind of searching for something like how to help deal with my emotions and all this, everyone's like high stress level. So, hey, ball wonder. And, I can see people coming on. Cool. So anyways, the more you move up, the more compassion you'll have, the less irritation, the less frustration. And instead of being mad, like at homelessness, you come from a higher level of awareness and think instead, like, how can I help the situation? So that's level 1. Level 2 is called the mass. So like, that's where most people are, is at level 2. People are controlled by their habits, by their family, controlled by their past, their friends, media, and everything around them. So that right now, even if you've gotten at higher levels, you might be now with all this pandemic and everything going on, being pulled back into the masses. This is really, now the bulk of people are at a level 2. So like I said, even if you're at a higher level, you could come back to this level. It's extremely hard to break out of because of the environment. Watching the news will determine your outcome. This is really like a victim level, blaming everyone else. Like right now, we're being dealt the bad hand. Like, this is hard to deal with. I don't know if anyone else is having a hard time. That's level 2. Level 3 is getting out of the mass and looking for aspiration. So aspiration is when you become aware that you might be capable of more. You might think, I might be able to make different choices to get a different outcome. You can become something different. You can make yourself stronger, move away from the masses. This kind of reminds me of, like, in my life story, like 2008 and 2009. Before that, I feel like I had reached some higher levels. I was working myself really hard. I had been in a financial services company, been doing self-development, and then in 2008 and 2009, the last kind of like pandemic, the last crash, I feel like I went right with the masses. People were losing their homes. I was in real estate and dealing with banks and short sales and foreclosures. And really, I went backwards and froze, blended in with the masses, and almost lost everything. So again, moving through aspiration, this is where you start working on yourself. Self-development books, you can look at podcasts, read books, go to retreats, trainings, and do things to seek out more. So that's an aspiration level. Level 4 is individual. Make the decision to openly start expressing who you are and making different choices. Hence why I've been going live, is because I am looking to seek from getting out of the masses. I've done the aspiration where I've read books and podcasts and been trying to grow myself. Level 4 is breaking out and start speaking up, even though people may not agree with you. I'm still choosing to express my ideas and opinions, and incorporating discipline. So level 5 is discipline, discipline, discipline. It is stronger than anything in your life. For all of your choices and decision making, you give a command and break out of your old habits. Stick to it and follow through. Don't break promises to yourself. This new command will create a new outcome, so you may want to take a note of that. Don't break promise from yourself. It's kind of like working out. You not only working out to get a good body, it's also going to change your outcome on so much more, from your health to your mindset to helping others to being consistent. So there's a lot of things that going, just doing a simple workout, how it can change your life. And even do it when you don't feel like it. There are some mornings when I definitely don't feel like working out. But if you just do it over and over and over, you do it. So that brings you to level 6, experience. Understand that trial and error and learning are going to be things that get you a different outcome. Stop worrying about failing and start to know where the experience to get a different outcome. So you can also have discipline, starting a new habit, and get experience, and don't worry about failing, which is so hard to do because whenever you start something new, you're gonna fail. Like these videos, I suck right now. But another reason for this is my friend Jolynn actually sent me a picture of when I had to speak in front of a group 2 years ago, and I was completely terrified. I hadn't started like my workout journey, so I looked completely different 2 years ago. And it was a small group of ladies in our women's group. Like I knew them all very well. We'd been in this group together, and I was completely freaked out and paralyzed. So even though I suck now, I know I've come a long way and I have a long ways to go. So here I am. So I was terrified. I'm still terrified. That brings us to level 7, which is mastery. And a lot of people would love to dabble in level 7. We kind of dabble, and then we can go back down. But what level 7 is, understanding we have the capability not to let the outside world affect us. And this is where you can kind of dabble, because you might be not letting the outside world affect you, and then all of a sudden you might get a nasty message, or all of a sudden you go out and you're driving and somebody pulls out in front of you. And things are always going to happen. Even if you're a level 7, like things are going to happen to you. But what we want to do at level 7 is to not let your emotions take over as much, and you control your emotions. So the reality you live in can be completely up to you. Mastery is mastering your reactions and mastering your outcome. So mastery sounds amazing, and I can't wait to be there. But you have to go through all the levels. You start at level 1 and work your way up. So you want to accept everything and decide. Level 6 and 7, you think, act, and behave on the long term, not on the short term fears. So right now, a lot of people are like on the short term, we're almost like animal instinct, like in survival mode. So you want to move up the different levels. We're in a crazy situation right now, and I feel like you need to aspire to move up levels if you're going to get through this. So be aware, get out of the masses, aspire, seek discipline, get experience, master, and then go make an impact on the world, because it's needed now more than ever. Just like nature is wanting to move forward, we're all wanting to move forward through this pandemic. But you have to look at everything, and this pandemic and economy will take you out if you don't move up the levels and get out of animal mode. And believe me, there are some days I'm in animal mode, like when you just hear new things that come up. So, are you ready to increase and thrive? And even though I get dragged down to level 1 real quick, I'm aspiring and trying to move up through the levels and help others. And if you're struggling as well, what I also suggest is finding a great mastermind again. The only way I'm surviving right now is honestly because my great group of mastermind friends. So thankful for that. So that's what I had today, just the 7. I had 10 pages of notes, you guys. So I might put some notes in here of my highlights, but 10 pages of notes. I think this will be super helpful if you're having an emotional time like me, to help you aspire and to grow through this. So hope you all have a fantastic holiday weekend. I'm hoping for some sunshine, even though it's sounding like rain. But hey, something great came out of it today. I listened to something amazing and gonna get on track and move towards mastery. So hope you guys all have a great weekend.